Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to some They Hunger. This is the last episode in the, trilogy, if you will. So, obviously, I'm still recovering from COVID. I was tempted to scrap the first, two chunks because I was getting sick, and I was like, man, that's kind of sad, but at the same time, I thought, it's kind of fun to watch the progression of my voice and, personality and mid and then recovery. So I figured I'd just keep it, and we'll go with it, I suppose. It's really funny, because I'm like, oh, I don't think it's COVID at one point, and then I end up getting it anyways. Well, I was infected at that point. But my point is, I'm going to keep it. I'm actually feeling a lot better. This is, I think, 2 days? I've been in quarantine for a week, so this feels just weird. It's like 2 days after my video that I announced. So my voice is actually really good, and I don't have really any congestion left. It's just very small traces of mucus at this point. My cough is very residual. It's not very common at this point. It used to be I couldn't even say more than a sentence or two, and then I just start coughing my brains out. So clearly I'm in that ability. I actually did a vocal test with my didgeridoo, and I can play a sustained drone for about 40 seconds or so. My average drone is about a minute 15. Not trying to brag here, but without inhaling. So clearly I'm in the ability to do this. So let's go ahead and get started with episode 3. I've been wanting to do this forever. So, well, forever in terms of the actual series. So yeah, I had a nightmare. It's called I had COVID and it sucked. So yeah, this is the final episode in the They Hunger plot. I don't think there was ever another They Hunger released as far as I'm aware of. I could be completely out of it in saying that. That's not cold medicine talking, that's just I'm pretty sure that there is no other chapters. Also, my throat's not sore anymore. I don't feel like I've been swallowing razor blades, so that's pretty cool. I mean, maybe you guys like my sexy, sick voice. I don't know, some people are into that thing. I'm personally not. I know I have a kind of different sound to my voice, but internally it feels very mucusy. Not in a bad way, though. I didn't want to record, so I'm like, okay, everybody, we're gonna make a video. Yeah, you can't kill me. They're going to get you, Barbara. Barbara Streisand. Anyways, this is the final chapter. This is a very, very long opening sequence, so I don't really have anything to talk about on this, because it's interesting. I don't think it's terrible. It's cool. I like this kind of aesthetic in games, so I can't say it's bad. It feels very different coming off of having played Afraid of Monsters 4 times. So I can say that much for a fact. I'm like, wow, this is going to be really hard, and then I'm like, no, They Hunger is significantly easier. But yeah, I will be doing Afraid of Monsters as well. I'll probably be doing that session later. I don't know when. So yeah, this is pretty much just a long establishing shot. I mean, I was having a nightmare. Oh no. So clearly we're in some sort of hospital. I don't know how we got the shit blown out of us in a fucking fireball. So I have no idea how we even managed to get back here. And, this has no use. This is literally just never ever in the game again. This, as far as I'm concerned, is just cutscene fluff. And maybe it's just to be symbolic of the fact that your character's hallucinating and tripping DOS balls. I don't know. You never see these enemies in the game. I'm just going to spoil this for you. I mean, it's cool, but it's just, I don't know. This reminds me a lot of David Firth's sock animations, if you've ever seen those, but considerably longer in time before that, obviously. But these, I believe, were scrapped Half-Life enemy assets, and I think they just used these for one of the enemies that we're going to see later on. So, I don't really hate Episode 3. I think it's actually a pretty solid way to finish this mod off. And finally we can be in control here. Oh man, having a normal flashlight. Oh god, I'm so used to the... Anyway, so this is the hospital we wake up in. This is actually really cool. I quite like this. So the objective of this part of the game right now is to get the fuck out of the hospital, because why would you want to stay in a hospital, right? Clearly. So first thing we gotta do is a little bit of basic puzzle solving. Ignore the crying baby because someone's a really bad parent. So we gotta flick this thing here. Now, you can go ahead and open this elevator up. Man, someone gotta take care of that baby. I'm just gonna say it. So, anyways, go ahead and hit this. Turn that off. I don't want to hear the phone right now. I'm not in for this bullshit. So, there's one of the nurse enemies. So clearly this has just all been a crazy dream and we're just waking up in a random nursery section in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, I guess. Oh. Well, there's blood. Oh dear. She's pretty fucked up. So, clearly there's still zombies. Clearly there's a problem. So, first things first, these are pretty much the same as all the other zombie enemies. They're just new models. There's so many new... Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't cry. I am so used to Afraid of Monsters right now. This feels like a cakewalk compared to that shit. So, yeah, these have the same health as the standard zombies. If you get hit, there's this. There's also what's left over of what I'm guessing was a baby that I just turned into Hamburger Helper. So, that kind of sucks, but oh well. Like I said, I'm so used to it. I think there's going to be ammo in there. So, no, sadly. So, we go ahead and pick up this handgun, and there's obviously going to be some hands in here as well. These things are really annoying. You don't really see these very often in the mod, but I'm going to take some coffee and hang on. Yeah. Break the glass, see what I care. It's what gets me off. So, essentially, this is also the most convenient church of all time. I have never seen a church inside of a hospital. I don't know if that's just some American thing, but it's definitely American because we've got guns in churches, so it makes sense to me, in my opinion. But yeah, I think in terms of, you know, overall quality, I think this is actually really, really good. It's probably the most solid that They Hunger gets. And pretty ambitious as well, so I'm gonna take some more coffee in. My voice still is not 100% up to this yet, but it's getting there, so there we go, much better. As you can tell, I've still got like the cough, but it's about all I've got left. So go ahead and move that laser. This is clearly a very American hospital because everything's extremely dangerous. And, so we can do two things here. We can actually kill this Frankenstein monster. Oh my god, leave me alone, you bastard. Oh, what am I doing? I have a gun. I have the equalizer here to take care of this. So, basically, what you're supposed to do is lure these guys out into the radiation, and, well, that didn't work, now did it? I guess I kind of clipped him with it, so that's pretty good. That's about as good as it's gonna get. So, other than that, that's pretty much the rockiest part in this entire beginning. So, man, I am dead serious. I am so used to Afraid of Monsters. I've played it 4 times, and this is just... Oh man, this feels like baby's easy mode right now. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I don't care. I mean, this is as bad as my cough is gonna get. And it's only because my throat was really tingly right there, too. So, obviously we have the new handgun. It's pretty much the same in terms of damage as the silenced one here. I wouldn't say there's a significant difference. They're both pretty good, so you don't need to go down that elevator. That's pretty much just a waste of time. I am going to hold on to as much ammo as I normally would because, well, not only am I used to Afraid of Monsters, which I keep stressing because I've played it 4 times in quarantine so far. I'm still in quarantine, but at least for like 3 more days, I think. So I'm just sort of, you know, whatever. But it's a really short mod, so I kind of had the time to play it, I guess. So the first thing we can do is we can also start opening up the other chunks of this map, which you can go downstairs, but you don't need to go there if you really want to. I have to commend the map design here. It's a lot better than the first 2 episodes. Oh, shit. Now, the combat, well, it's still as rudimentary as it was in the originals. It's still nothing... Oh, Jesus. That's really scary. Come on. There we go. So it's still really, you know, just Half-Life combat at its core. It's not exactly a powerhouse of pure gameplay here. it's still very basic. So what you need to do is break that glass, and then we can go in here, get rid of white supremacist Barney. He's not a cool guy. I don't like him very much. Go ahead and turn that racket off as well. So, now that we've got the shotgun, we can pretty much start cruising in control here. I still don't recommend wasting a lot of ammo early on, because it is pretty much still a survival horror mod at the heart. You know, the best way to look at this is, if I'm comparing this to Afraid of Monsters, because that's the last thing I've been playing, this is like Resident Evil, and that's like Silent Hill, in terms of atmosphere as well, I suppose. But, oh, I should turn my phone on silent. That's probably a good idea. There we go. So, anyways, first things first, you gotta shoot this, whatever the fuck it's called. I mean, generator, I'm guessing, is what you call that. And we can go down here and take some coffee in while we're on our adventure out. Yes, there we go. So, pretty much we're back to the Outdoorador style, as Noah Gervais calls it. I know I whack him off a lot because I absolutely love his videos. Maybe it's because he's a fellow Oregonian, even though he's not from Oregon. He lives here, so I'm like, yeah, you're an Oregonian, why not? I think he still lives here. At least I think he lives in Bend. But, all Oregonians are my friend, except the shitty ones, I guess. But this is pretty much my favorite design of, like, this mod in general. So, you can go back there. I believe there's some ammo we can pick up right now, which is pretty helpful, considering we don't really hardly have any. I'm telling you, though, that cough should slide in a few minutes. I've noticed that once I cough a few times, it sort of goes away after a while. It's not perfect, but it's gotten way better. And I really wanted to get this video done. Plus, I really wanted to play this, so... Alright, I'm still hitting E on everything like I'm playing fucking Afraid of Monsters. So this is a little bit more scripted than the other two mods, but it's not as much as the second one, where pretty much everything was scripted. Man, they really like that train. I think they just really loved it a lot when they made it, because I feel like it's in every single mod part of this, so... You can go ahead and jump down here, and we can actually pick up the improved... No, I'm just kidding, it's still really shit. This is just the sniper rifle. It's still really bad. Unfortunately, we can't kill that wrench zombie and get his wrench early. We do get the wrench and stuff later on, but not right now. So, this is 100% optional. You don't have to go down here if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. I would say go for it, because there's also more ammo down here. And the beginning of this mod, like I said, is just very, very, you know... It's brutal, because you don't have all your goodies and toys that you've been grown accustomed to at this point. So, get out of here, you punk buster. I don't think punk buster even is a thing anymore. It was I think it was like an anti-cheat software for like early Call of Duty games or something. So, yeah, I don't mind this design. I think this is actually pretty good. So there's going to be some more dudes in here. And of course, doggos. I still can't express it, man. I feel so easy and relaxed playing this as opposed to, like, Afraid of Monsters, where every single thing is a constant death threat. I mean, everything is still pretty threatening in this, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, this entire thing is a little bit longer than the first two They Hunger mods. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. I think it stays its welcome pretty well. I don't think it overstays it. That's the problem with a lot of things in general, is they go on for too damn long, and I think... Oh, that's a bad jump. Oh, that tree... Okay, there we go. I was like... I did this on that first record where I got really, really sick. So I remember doing that as well. Ugh. There we go. I think I got everything pretty much out of my system in that, like, 5-minute time span here. So, this is pretty much, like, the hardest the game's gonna get for now. But we're gonna encounter some pretty serious shit. There's a lot of new enemies. You've noticed probably that... Oh, Jesus. Oh, I don't want to be in here. Not that it's scary, I just don't like the glitchy, derpy ichthyosaurs in this game. they're just really buggy. I mean, I know that it's not probably the easiest thing to code, but goddamn, they're really, really iffy. I'm so glad and afraid of monsters they don't have any, because I'd hate to see how fucking ridiculous they would have been. I think there was one time where there was, but they removed it out in the director's cut, which is probably for the better, honestly. So, yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, about the same length. I'd say this takes about an hour and a half, tops, probably, to finish. It's pretty fun, too. I can't stress it enough. There's so much detail in this mod that really... It's just so fresh, it's so fun, and it really breathes life into the Half-Life modding community that was pretty new at this point in time, too, when this came out. So, we can start switching over to, like, firearms if we want to, and I kind of am all about that base, so I might as well. Now, there is a couple new zombie variants added in this as well. We've also got... this cow skull seems like it keeps coming up in a motif. Maybe we're gonna find some new enemy with it or something like that, I guess. And a fucking baby still crying. Someone needs to do something about that. Yeah. There's a lot of new zombie types as well, which is, you know, they're just reskins of the zombie characters, but at the same time, it's a lot of detail that really wasn't even needed, and, ew, excuse me, it really does add a lot of polish to the mod that I think is... You know, it's refreshing. It's welcome, in my opinion. I'm gonna take some more coffee in. I'm just drinking black coffee with ice. There's nothing else in it. That's pretty much all I drink when I record anyways. So, yeah. And we'll see most, if not all of them, pretty soon, too. So, I'm just kind of using up all my pissy ammo first and sort of saving off of my big boy toys for later. Because it's probably a good idea. So, yeah. There's a lot of new things that get added, and I'm really excited to show them off. And there's so much cool environmental detail in this as well. This isn't really selling the mod, but trust me, it has a lot going for it. And I'm a huge fan of horror mods like this. I'm actually a big fan of, like... Well, I don't like horror per se at all. I'm not really a huge horror fan. But I love environments that are based in forests and stuff, so... I'll show you guys the new stuff in a minute, and I'll see you in the next one. We're gonna go in the spooky home. Well, barn. It's something. I don't know, man. I'll see you in a minute.